transpersonal institutes provide transpersonal training that is fully recognized by the Ministry of University Education and Research in Italy. The clinical methodology of the training is biotransenergetics. That is a new methodology, a new transpersonal methodology that comes from ancient tradition of wisdom, that is shamanism and perennial philosophy, and integrate psycho-spiritual works and experiential transpersonal psychotherapy. The methodology of learning is, we name it translearning. The biotransenergetics and the methodology of translearning was used in training since '82 in more than 30,000 hours of training and of clinical work, and was presented in more than 50 conferences all around the world in more than 15 countries. We start thinking about the object of our research. A transpersonal methodology has like object the self-realization. But what is the self? Like, for example, Ken Wilber says, the self is not object. The self is a subject. The self has not space, has not time. The self, that is the essence of our life, our soul, our psyche, the cosmos, the totality of our inner experience. So, if the self is the object, that is the subject of our works, we have to ask how we can do a work, a methodology and a training that respect the true nature of the self. Of course, we know the self manifests himself through the ego. That is, the self is like something that is on the backstage, and the ego, that is his manifestation, are on the stage. The dual mind is the tool of the ego. The dual mind, the rational mind, is the instrument to know the manifestation of ourself. But to reach the self, we have to go beyond the mind, beyond the dual mind, beyond the ego, and open our consciousness to the unitive mind. That is, we have to work with the state of consciousness to expand our normal state of consciousness, our first attention in a second attention that goes beyond the stage. If we think about our curriculum of studies, we can realize that first the studies of our life was provided by something that we can call or fallacy. That is, theory, our studies was just theory, and the practice, the experience, was something that is out of our curriculum of studies. Many of the models of our education are just theory and forgot the experience, are just something that works with the matter and forgot the spirit, something that works with our mind and forgot the consciousness, for example. This is the conventional way to learn. Of course, there is some post-conventional ways to learn. That is something that try to put together the body and mind, the matter and the spirit. But we name this methodology end fallacy. That is, if we study something with the mind, intellectual theories, and when we do practice, that is meditation, we are putting together two separate levels of experience, that is, the mind and the spirit, or the consciousness and awareness, or the matter and the spirit. But we are putting together something. Of course, this is a better way than this one to try to learn, but it's not respecting in our vision the things like they are. That is, the dual mind, the reality on the stage. We can say that we go from the past to the future. The dual mind think is in the judgment. The dual mind usually fight, that is, try to develop strategies to get some goals, that is, goes from here to there. The dual mind try to control, that is, control some fear of something. The dual mind search, that is asking why, and try to have some answer. No, we want to know the reason why. The dual mind usually delegate to the science, delegate to something outside the knowledge. The dual mind try to solve problems. Of course, all of this is something normal, is something understandable, but we say that to reach the self, we have to go beyond the dual mind and try to develop the unitive mind. That is, we have to stay instead to go away, to stay here and now, because the subject, the self, is here and now, and all the process happens here and now. We say that we have to watch our judgment. Of course, we can judge, but we have to watch our judgment. To accept, we have strategies, we have goals, you have problems, you have limits, you have boundaries. Okay, to accept. To give up, that is, instead to control, to let go, because the self is something that happens beyond our attachment, beyond our identification, beyond our control. To find, that is, the self is here and now. All is here and now. So to knowledge the truth, we have just to watch and to stay, because it's here and now. If it's here and now, we can give up and find, that is, staying here and now and feeling with all my sense, not just the five senses, but the intuitive mind, we can stay and find what is happening now. To take responsibility, we are used, as I said, to delegate the unitive mind, to stay here and now in contact with the self, means to take responsibility to our life and to our problems. To lead with facts, that is, if we try to solve problem, we just try with the mind to solve problem. But like Einstein says, for example, we cannot resolve something with the same mind that creates the problem. To solve the problem, we have to change trance, like we say. We have to pass in another state of consciousness, in a unitive mind, in which we realize that problems are facts. To realize all this, in our methodology, the trans-learning suggests a way to learning that is here and now, that is able to recognize that ego and self are here and now, one inside the other. You have not to separate or you have not to unify, because already are unified, already are here and now. If you do something that separate, of course, we do a fallacy. But in the same time, if you do something to put together something, we do a mistake, because the things already are here and now, already are one. So we have to try to develop a mind that is a unitive mind beyond our dual mind, to recognize that all is here, all is one. For that we have to use a methodology. This methodology, trans-learning, try to help us to realize this unity, to realize that the unity are here and now, and we have not to put together. In this way, we can resume the skills of our transpersonal training, the skills of biotransenergetics. That is, for example, to come from personal history to self-realization, to help people to walk from our problem, our identification of our ego and our personal history to the self-realization. From problems to quality, that is recognized in each problem, in each disease, in each symptom, there is quality, there is forces that if you do the right thing, we can let these forces and the qualities go out. From dual mind to unitive mind. That not means that unitive mind fight against dual mind, but passing through the dual mind, we can recognize the unitive mind that transcend and include the dual mind. From reality to truth, that is, all that happens is reality. What happens is on the stage, but through the reality, watching on stage, we can realize what is beyond the stage, that is the truth. We don't say that the truth is universal. You say that there is a place when we can go and realize the truth of something. And finally, go from knowledge to insight. Like Bohm says, the real comprehension, the real knowledge is something that comes from inside. That is the insight, and let us reach the wisdom. So we can try in the training reach the wisdom of the humanity that all have inside us.